Untruth of the week. All right, everybody. FSU, that's Florida State University, criminal professor, it's criminal justice professor Gary Kleck, who everybody's heard of. He's very, very famous when it comes to statistics, regarding defensive gun use, etc. So FSU criminal justice professor Gary Kleck studied a national self-defense survey produced by the CDC and concluded that for every suicide, accidental death, and homicide with a firearm, which is about 29,019, at least the year he did this, there are about 13 times more lives that are saved through a DGU, about 390,000. So by looking at official studies, official surveys, if you add up every suicide, accidental death, and homicide, somewhere around 29,000. This data is about a couple decades old. There are still 13 times more people that are actually saved through defensive gun use. Now that defensive gun use, 390,000.
That's got to be a low number.
Well, the problem is
unreported.
There's not a actual definition. So some people, you actually have to pull the trigger, and that's a defensive gun use.
True.
Some people don't count cops, when they do their surveys. Some people, it just depends on how they define a defensive gun use. So whenever I'm in the media, I say between 500,000 and 3 million times per year in America. Because the most broad definition of a DGU, it's more like 3 million a year. But when they start to kind of,
categorize it. Well, you think about it too. So for every suicide, accidental death, homicide, and a firearm, you have a body with a bullet hole.
Yeah.
Right. That's a little bit more factual to count. The whole DGU, I guarantee you there's plenty that are never reported.
They're never reported.
Or never talked about.
And again, what counts? Like, what if you yell, someone's breaking in your house, you yell, I have a gun.
Right.
Does that count? Is that a DGU? I think it is. I think it's definitely a DGU. Yeah. So anyway, the point is that at least 13 times more lives are saved through DGUs than are taken by suicide, accidental death, and homicide with a firearm. What do you think about that?
Mic drop.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.